As I stand here, it is such a pleasure to see this room full of people from all over Africa and within, coming to honor us to attend this function today and tomorrow. Allow me to begin by expressing our deepest appreciation to you, Your Excellency, Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, for gracing this occasion and for your unwavering commitment to advancing the future of work and enterprise in Kenya and across Africa. Your leadership continues to inspire confidence in the business community and reinforces the importance of public-private collaboration in driving inclusive development. We're equally honored this morning by the attendance of the International Labour Organization team, led by Ms. Fanfan Kayirangwa, the Director for Africa. Thank you for being here. Your presence here today is a powerful affirmation of the ILO's dedication to promoting decent work, social justice, and sustainable enterprises across the continent. I'm proud that Kenya has the privilege to host this transformative gathering of employer organizations, business leaders, and policy influencers from across the continent. This summit is a moment of reflection and renewal. It comes at a time when Africa's economic and social landscape is undergoing profound transformation. And as employers, when the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. Our roots, our values, our resilience in Africa are our shared vision and are strong. The theme of this summit, empowering business to advance social justice, challenges us to rethink the traditional role of business in society today. No longer should enterprises be viewed solely as engines of profit and productivity. Today, businesses must also be seen as architects of inclusive growth, champions of fair labor practices, and stewards of sustainable development. This theme therefore invites us to embrace a broader, more human-centered vision of enterprise, where one, economic success goes hand in hand with social equity. Indeed, we see this clamor by our growing young population in Africa today. It reminds us that is this theme, that social justice is not a luxury reserved for idealists. It is a necessity for stability, progress, and peace. Without it, the foundations of our economies and communities remain fragile. From the employer's lens, platform, it allows us to employ how businesses can be empowered to champion social justice, not as a peripheral goal, but as a central pillar of enterprise sustainability. We must ask ourselves, how can we build businesses that are not only competitive, but ensure that our workplaces are inclusive, that our practices are ethical, and our growth is equitable? Kenya's business environment continues to show promise, and the government's strategic investments in infrastructure, digital transformation, and regional integration through the East Africa Community and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area are opening new doors for enterprise expansion. Our youthful and young, dynamic workforce is a strategic asset, one that with the right skills and support can drive innovation and productivity across sectors. Employers cannot ignore the shifts toward green and sustainable business models either. This is not just a trend, it is a necessity needed in advancing social justice. The future of investment lies in building climate resilience, caring for the environment, and conducting business responsibly. Therefore, I urge all employers to be at the forefront of this transition by ensuring that enterprises are not only competitive, but also responsible and sustainable. Hosting this summit is a privilege that we do not take lightly. It reflects Kenya's commitment to fostering dialogue, collaboration, and leadership in shaping the future of work in Africa. We are grateful to our partners, Business Africa, the International Labour Organization, International Organization of Employers, and all participating employer organizations for their unwavering support in making this summit a reality today. Let us see these 2 days to engage a meaningful dialogue, challenge conventional thinking, and build partnerships that will endure beyond this summit. This summit offers us a unique opportunity to align our efforts and reaffirm a shared vision where empowered businesses and social justice are not just seen as competing interests, but as mutually reinforcing pillars of progress. A society that values fairness and inclusion creates the conditions for enterprise to thrive, and in turn, thriving enterprises contribute to the stability and prosperity of the society and the nations at large. I therefore look forward to the insights, innovations, commitments that will emerge from this summit. May our discussions lead to bold actions and lasting impact. Once again, I want to thank you very much for coming in today and for the next 2 days, and welcome once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Gilda Odera, kindly allow me to call our next speaker. And also join me in welcome applause.
Secretary General of Business of Africa, Executive Director and CEO of FKE, Dr. Gilda Odera, National President, Federation of Kenya Employers, Mr. Baide Agne, President, Business Africa Employers Confederation, distinguished guests, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from the Director General of the International Labour Organization, Mr. Gilbert Humbo. It is a great honor and pleasure to be here in Nairobi to join this distinguished gathering of business visionaries and leaders. Let me join previous speakers in thanking Business Africa and the Federation of Kenya Employers. I also want to extend special thanks to Ms. Jacqueline Mugo, President of the IOE and member of the ILO governing body, not only for inviting the ILO regional office, but also for her long-standing and unwavering commitment to the ILO and for being a champion for decent work and social justice. I would also like to acknowledge the ILO colleagues from the region and HQ who have supported this summit in various ways. Excellencies, distinguished guests and colleagues, this summit is being held at a critical moment in time. As the continent tries to shake off the lingering effects of the poly crisis, It is grappling with rapid transformation, driven by digitalization and technological change, demographic shifts, and evolving labor markets. The lack of productive and decent jobs remain the biggest labor market challenge for young people in Africa as the continent faces a significant demographic transition. The ILO estimates that 26% of young people in Africa are neither in employment, education, nor training. Over 70% of young workers are employed in jobs categorized as insecure. Crisis, fragility, instability, and climate change are reversing development gains or diverting resources from critical investment in economic and social development. At the same time, global solidarity and the economic order, as we know it, are also being challenged, and uncertainties loom. We are in a challenging time, and businesses and employers are at the center of it all. Navigating financial pressures, strategic and leadership challenges, operational disruptions, regulatory changes, low stakeholders, confidence, and market pressures. The constraint of this transformation and the uncertainties around us indeed make the theme of this summit, empowering business to advance social justice, very apt and timely. Businesses are investors, job creators, engines of innovation, drivers of sustainability, and the green transition, and key partners in shaping policies that promote sustainable enterprises and policies for transformation and inclusive growth. This makes the role of employers in the decent work agenda as partners in national development and regional development indispensable. Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, this summit therefore presents a strong opportunity to reflect on how together businesses can foster an enabling environment for business development firmly rooted in tripartism and social dialogue. To navigate the complex transformations, employer organizations need broader, more strategic outlook. While the traditional preoccupation of representing employers' interests in national labor policies processes remain very important, it is no longer sufficient. In era of digital platforms, non-standard work arrangements, AI, and regional economic integration. This also calls for greater coordination at the regional level to address common challenge as well as bring a collective voice in regional and global policy processes. As we engage, let us all be guided by the theme of the summit and envision a continent where businesses are empowered to thrive, where rights, capabilities, and fair access to opportunities are promoted, and where every woman and man has access to decent work and a better future. The ILO Regional Office for Africa is committed to continue working with employers' organizations to build labor markets that are more productive, more inclusive, more resilient, and sustainable. Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, in closing, I look forward to rich discussion ahead. I hope that the discourse at this summit will energize us, provide insight, and feed into critical upcoming regional and global events, particularly engagement at the UN General Assembly later this month, the World Social Summit in November, the 6th Global Conference on the Elimination of Child Labor in 2026, and the 15th ILO Regional Meeting in 2026. I wish you fruitful deliberation. Asante sana. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fan Fan R. Kairangwa, the ILO Regional Director for Africa, on behalf of the Director General of the International Labour Organization. I'd now like to request Your Excellency, the Deputy President, to kindly allow me to welcome our next speaker and also join me in welcoming him. He is the President of the Business Africa Employers Confederation, Mr. Baidi Ane.
Thank you. Je sais que le vice-président a un calendrier serré. Il nous l'a signifié, donc il doit partir très vite, donc on va être court. I was saying, Mr. Vice President, I was saying, you stated it to us, I mean, time is of instance for you here, therefore, for the protocols, it was already mentioned by Jacqueline and all the different people that was here. Donc je voudrais d'abord, Monsieur le Vice-président, à mon nom et au nom des présidents des organisations et aux responsables patronales, membres de Business Africa, vous présenter nos sincères remerciements pour l'accueil chaleureux et la bienveillante attention dont nous future for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Baidi Anye, President of the Business Africa Employers Confederation. And now, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, kindly allow me to call on our next speaker and join me in welcoming the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, Dr. Alfred N. Mutua, EGH.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President, the Principal Secretary, Mr. Shadrach Mwadime, Madam Fanfan, and Madam Mugo, Dr. Odera, Baidi Agne, thank you for your short speech. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, when the Almighty God decided He wanted to build an ark to save the people, He looked for a laborer called Noah. And Noah was able to work together and get the ark moving with his family. When the Egyptians decided to build the pyramids, they looked for laborers, and they used slaves to build the pyramids that we see today sitting in Cairo and other places. In today's world, we are still using workers to work. We still have employers who are busy getting their Noahs, their arks built by very many laborers. We still have some slave labor that we are dealing with in our world today that we are trying to tackle so that people actually are not enslaved as they used to be many years ago. It's a collaboration between the employer and the worker. The government of Kenya has worked very hard to ensure that there is collaboration between the government, the employers, and the workers for generations to come. The government of Kenya is the largest employer, and our president is employer number one. Our president, William Ruto, is also the number one laborer working for the people of Kenya. And it's at that point that it is my pleasure to welcome the second chief employer and the second chief laborer of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, to address us. Let us all be upstanding.
Thank you, Alfred.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Alfred. For those who are coming from outside Kenya, welcome to Kenya, your second home. I will also not speak for long because I think a good president has been set. I will ride on all the protocols as established, and I recognize all of you in the offices you hold. Let me say I'm pleased to join you today and to join this distinguished assembly of employers, visionaries, and change makers from our continent and beyond who have come to gather here to advance the noble cause of social justice through business enterprise. The theme of this summit, Empowering Business to Advance Social Justice, addresses the ideal obligation of businesses, namely to create wealth and maintain the dignity of individuals. For far too long, debate has presented the case for enterprise and social justice as competing forces, yet they are mutually reinforcing. When businesses create decent work, ensure fair wages, uphold labor rights, embrace equity, support communities, and integrate social and environmental goals into their businesses models, they strengthen the very foundation upon which prosperity is built. Africa is currently at a demographic and economic crossroad. Our youthful population is a tremendous asset, but it also poses an enormous challenge. Africa, as the world's youngest and fastest growing population, estimated currently at 400 million young people between 15 and 35 years, and estimated to escalate to 1 billion by 2063. While many challenges face young people in Africa today, undoubtedly the most acute challenge is the lack of enough jobs and income opportunities for them. And this has led to a situation where in some of our countries, we've seen unrest led by young people, and part of the grievance is around the lack of enough jobs and income opportunities for the youth. We have also seen the young people of Africa, some of them turn into social media platforms, not for e-commerce or to look for opportunities there, but to spread hateful messages. The consequence of youth unrest and disenfranchisement has been loss of property, higher operating costs, and dwindling profits. And therefore, the youth unemployment challenge presents the greatest opportunity for the social justice agenda that we are gathered here today to speak of. We must therefore unlock the transformative potential of businesses, not just to profit, but also to empower. This requires a new paradigm of enterprise in the following manner. One, businesses that embrace inclusivity, where women, youth, and persons with disability find meaningful participation and leadership. Two, socially conscious businesses, investing in communities, promoting environmental stewardship, and building resilience to climate change. And three, businesses that uphold ethical governance, including transparency, accountability, and helping us to create a corrupt-free Africa. Kenya, like many other African nations, has made social justice a guiding pillar of our national development. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda pursued by this administration has introduced a multi-pronged job and income opportunities creation program targeting young people. We recognize, however, that we cannot achieve this alone. We need the private sector, we need other employers to transform policy into job and income opportunities for our young people. We need the private sector to augment our interventions and offer the requisite community support so that the social aspects such as mental health and wellness, including sports, recreation, and rehabilitation facilities are simultaneously available, especially for our youth. Youthful workers today and tomorrow are asking employers for greater flexibilities at the workplace. And therefore, the era of tie and suit wearing workers could be coming to an end. And that's what the young people are demanding, that you don't need a tie to be productive. Going forward, therefore, we must engage our young people with their thoughts as we define the worker of the 21st century. We ask government, or rather we ask the private sector and employers and businesses generally to partner with government so that we can support young people's engagement, and this will benefit both the employers and the government. Businesses can also be at the forefront of mainstreaming government-led youth, women, and persons with disability strategies. For example, here in Kenya, we are providing opportunities for these categories to take part in government procurement through the Access to Government Opportunities Program, AGPO. And therefore, businesses can help us by also internally insisting that part of their procurement goes to young people. Women should take a lead in showcasing their support for inclusivity and ethical governance of integrity, honesty, hard work, transparency, and care for others. They need to be profitable. Can create a more just and socially responsive market where every individual has a place and where no one is excluded, where business stands as the most dynamic driver of social transformation and shared prosperity. This is the Africa we must dream of and actualize in our lifetime. An Africa of the 21st century, which will be powered by young people, and where technology and public-private partnerships will define our success. It is possible to transform Africa in our lifetime. It is business to get a better Africa, a more inclusive Africa, integrating the voices of women, the voices of young people, the voices of persons with disabilities, and it is possible for the youth to drive the transformation of Africa and expedite the integration of the continent that we have always desired. I thank you, and I now declare the Africa open.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President, with your kind permission, I'd like to request you to remain on stage. We are going to present a gift, as is of tradition. I'm going to request Ms. Jacqueline Mugo to come and join us on stage, Mr. Baidi Anye and Dr. Gilda Hodera to come and join me on stage so we can present a gift to our chief guest. Tafadhali, if we can have the gift brought forward. And thereafter, we are going to proceed for a brief photo session. So, as we present this gift, thank you very much for honoring the invite. Thank you very much for welcoming all these delegates here, and we really appreciate it. So if we can stand there for one quick photo. And then I'm going to be requesting our CS Tafadhali, Dr. Alfred Mutua, also to come. Once this is done, we are going to be welcoming. Thank you very much. With your kind permission, kindly remain on stage once again. So I'm going to request our CS, Dr. Alfred Mutua, also to join. Mr. Baidi Anye, s'il vous plaît, if you could kindly come on stage for this picture. If we have Miss Fan Fan, also if she can join us for this photo. We need some gender balance in that picture, s'il vous plaît. If we can, now this is the best, most balanced gender picture we've ever seen. PS Labor, Mwandime tafadhali. Karibu sana. Okay. So kindly remain on stage. I'm going to request Business Africa Council members to come and join us on stage to join this picture. The Business Africa Council members, if you're here, please. Donc, les membres du Conseil de Afrique des Affaires, s'il vous plaît. Business Africa Council members, kindly come and join us on stage. If we can split on either side. Thank you very much. There is some space here. Yeah, it's a large group. It's too wide. Maybe we can split. If we have the taller ones who can stand behind so that at least everybody appears. If the taller ones can stand behind and the less taller ones stand in front. I have to be very diplomatic about what I say. I'm amidst employers. I also want to be employed, so I have to be very diplomatic. And once this picture is done, I will request the council members of Business Africa to take their seats, and I will request the FKE board members to replace the Business Africa Council members. Thank you very much. So if we can have the board members of FKE to join this picture, kindly. I will request the council members of Business Africa, please take your seats. Donc les membres d'Afrique des Affaires, merci beaucoup de regagner vos places. Je vais inviter les membres du board de FKE, members of FKE board, kindly, to join this picture. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, with your permission, this is going to be the last picture before we move on to the next part. Yes, we can also do the same. The taller ones at the back and the less taller ones, not so much at the back. Thank you. Our members of the Fourth Estate happy? Yes, we are. Thank you very much.
We'll ask His Excellency to remain on stage as the rest of us take our seats. His Excellency, the Deputy President, will remain on stage. And I request that we all be upstanding. Yes, only His Excellency to remain on stage. His Excellency, the Deputy President, will remain on stage as I ask the rest of us to be upstanding so that we conclude this opening ceremony with the national anthem. Thank you. His Excellency will leave at his own pleasure. We can applaud him.